Good evening. They are the biggest clues yet in the disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 by size and maybe much more. Two objects spotted in the southern Indian Ocean, 1,500 miles southwest of Perth, Australia. That is at the tail end of the route that investigators believe the plane may have taken after it veered off course on a flight from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing 13 days ago. The objects were picked up by a satellite last Sunday, but it took time to analyze the pictures of what might be the wreckage of the Boeing 777. Today, Australia had so much confidence it had found something important that the Prime Minister stepped forward to make the announcement himself. Ships and aircraft rushed to the scene. We have a team of correspondents on the story. First, we're going to go to Lee Cowan in Perth, where it is Friday morning in Australia. Lee?
Well, Scott, I don't know whether you can tell, but the weather has really started to deteriorate here over the last couple of hours outside the Royal Australian Air Force Base just outside of Perth. Obviously not good news for the search effort. The plan was to get more planes up in the air, out over the site by daybreak. It's a long trip, though, Scott, some 1,500 miles one way, and the weather is just making everything more complicated. After a day of finding nothing, search planes are at it again in an effort to nail down just what those satellite images may have captured. A Norwegian cargo ship was the first to reach the target area yesterday. Its powerful searchlights are being used to scan the water around the clock. But so far, it's found nothing but empty ocean. To the untrained eye, the satellite images could be almost anything. One piece appears to be around 16 feet long, another some 80 feet. And that is about the size of a Boeing 777 wing. John Young of the Australia Maritime Safety Authority, though, was cautious, but said the images do offer a glimmer of hope.
It is probably the best lead we have right now, but we need to get there, find them, see them, assess them, to know whether it's really meaningful or not.
4 military planes, including an American P-8, have been dispatched to the scene, but the weather has not been kind. Winter is approaching, making the South Indian Ocean rough, the skies cloudy. Added challenges for Australian pilots, like Flight Lieutenant Chris Burr.
We can relate to the aircrew of MH370, and we're highly motivated to go out and continue searching as long as required.
It's been 5 days now since those satellite images were taken, and whatever the pieces are, they've already drifted for miles. A transport plane has dropped marker buoys to help map the currents, but that's only the most immediate concern. The more looming problem is that the ocean floor is more than 9,000 feet deep in the area being searched. There's been some talk of trying to redirect some of the Australian commercial satellites to see if they can get a better resolution on that area, but most experts seem to think that the resolution is probably as good as it's going to get. The best option, obviously, Scott, is to get eyes on whatever was pictured in those satellite images before they disappear or sink.
Lee, you said that the search area is 1,500 miles from where you are. That's really got to limit what they're able to do.
Well, it does. I mean, you're just talking about pure fuel. It's about a 4-hour trip out there and about a 4-hour trip back. That leaves about 2 hours to actively search the area. What they're trying to do is stagger those flights so there's at least one plane in the air at all times during daylight hours. And obviously they're waiting for more reinforcements, more planes and ships to arrive over the next couple of days.
Lee Cowan reporting from Perth, Australia. Lee, thanks.